The Magic win, baby! The Magic win!
Magic win the game!
The Magic win 115-104 to go 1-0 in the Pat Bev era of the Orlando Magic. It was a huge team win with contributions from all over the roster, but the bench came up really big. We'll talk about it in a moment. They stymied Aaron Gordon's best effort to try once more to convince us Orlando Magic fans that he's a good NBA basketball player. Wasn't good enough, sir. We're not falling for it.
Just like his jerseys when he was on the Magic, I'm not buying it.
But as we said in the intro there, I mean, the bench really, I think that was the big story of the game. You said 56-10. Is that right, Pish?
Let me just confirm, but I believe that was the numbers. Yes, 56-10.
It looks that way when you look at the box score. 17 from Bol Bol. The Bol Bol train, all aboard. It had been a while since that train had left the station.
This guy leading off talking about Bol Bol, and impressive in only 14 minutes. Cole Anthony goes for 17, 7, and 7.
I was going to get to that,
Oh, my God.
I was going to bring attention to the jersey in a moment. That thing is fresh.
Yeah, you got it for me for Christmas. Yeah. It is fresh. Even though that Carolina lost that game to Duke, and all of our players were in attendance for it.
That was cool.
Which was fun.
Yeah, Cole was huge tonight. The playmaking, he had some amazing dishes, 7 assists that you mentioned. But and Moritz, like those three guys, Moritz had 12 points in 19 minutes, 5 of 9, extremely efficient. Definitely caused some fits for Jokic at times. Had a couple knockaways, 2 steals. Just really active. Caleb Houston even played a good game, 3 of 4. Those guys were not turning the ball over. They were making good shots. 7 points from him. And J.I., we'll mention his 3 points, but 3 steals. Like, that guy was active. When he and Jalen Suggs were on the floor, man, that was a dynamic defensive duo that you can tell is going to give oppositions problems.
Mm-hmm. Still only fantastic. 11 minutes from him, though. Probably you have 12 over there, right?
No, I got 11.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on. All right. Yeah, you would have thought with the Mo Bamba trade that meant more minutes for Jonathan Isaac. No. Can't.
Sorry, we're the medical staff. We've already decided he cannot play any longer than 10 minutes. He's an adult athlete, but God forbid he play.
Yeah, so he played 11. He's still looking very good. The offensive game wasn't working from him. He's over 3 from the floor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we match up well, I think, against the Denver Nuggets because, especially without Jamal Murray, which we will note, although we are not going to be giving anybody sympathy for having injured players, so that's fine. This team is not a team that is a volume three-point shooting team, and a team like that is someone that we can definitely compete with because that's our strength. Our strength is in the paint. We won the boards 47-39. We won the points in the paint 64-52. But again, another one of the big stories was turnovers. I mean, we were causing havoc in the passing lanes, lots of deflections. Could have had more turnovers forced than we did. We forced 16 turnovers.
17.
Okay, you got 17, and we had 22 points off of that. So there's a lot of ways that you can slice this game to show why we won and got this 11-point victory. What would you say was key, Pish? What are your big takeaways right now?
It was that defensive intensity stepping up after getting down 12-0. You could see there was an effort of, oh, shit, we got to do some stuff. Yeah. And they started to clamp down on defense, and it was leading to fast break buckets. And before you knew it, the Nuggets were down in the first quarter, and I think they were kind of looking around like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And then it happened more and more in the second. They actually made a good run at one point to get the game back to a little closer. But for the most part, at that point, the Magic were just out in front and kind of just did enough. But it was mostly on the defensive end where I saw things going. And Jokic still scored 29 points in this game.
Did he?
Yeah, but you frustrated him. You wouldn't have imagined that, and your reaction is genuine here, which is why I didn't say it to you before game. But, he still scored 29 points because he gets the ball, goes through him, right?
Yeah, so triple-double.
He's going to find his way to do his thing.
Oh, no, he didn't. I'm sorry.
No.
29, 12, and 6. Sorry.
Right. And still, that's a great statistical game.
Yeah.
So when you consider that, this guy had a kind of an off night and still puts up those kind of numbers, you can see why he's 2-time MVP.
Yeah.
And it was Aaron Gordon showing up on the stat sheet tonight for them in the score column with 37 points on a lot of very easy bunnies underneath where we were just double.
We were giving it to him.
Yeah, we were kind of letting him eat and shutting down Jokic, and that's totally fine.
That's
this
a smart
worked.
thing.
But like you said, their lack of outside shooting works to our benefit. They had 10 3-pointers made. We had 9. We actually had 33% from 3, which is, again, it's not beautiful, but it works in this game, right? Now, if we're playing another team that shoots the 3 ball more and they make 15, 16 threes in a game, tonight's effort isn't going to be it.
Right.
But our strength is obviously in the paint. It's beating people on bench points, and it's getting those defensive turnovers to turn into points. We did all those things tonight.
Now, the bench was on fire. The Bol Patrol was in full effect. Cole Anthony was eating all the nutmeg and cinnamon he wanted. But it's interesting to look at the starters, and this is...
Yeah, this is troubling.
You can look at this both ways. You can say this is the great thing about our team, that we can have a night where our starters don't play well, and we've got guys like Cole and Bol and Moritz who can pick up the slack. And I think that's a good thing that speaks to our depth, which I think we have over most teams that we play. But, just most concerning for me, I think, is 9 shots for Franz.
That's the point I was going to make, yeah. Only 9 shots for him seems odd. It didn't seem like it was disrupting the flow of the game, though.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't work in... He seems to do better in the half-court sets, and with all the turnovers and the fast breaking, it seemed like that's not where he's going to get those buckets coming across the lane. But you'd like to think, even Paulo ended up with 12 shots by the end of this, but he only had, 2 at halftime or 3? It was a very low amount.
I did write it down,
and so it seems like we should be running plays specifically 4, 5, and 22, but we're kind of just not. We're kind of letting the flow of the game happen, which is fine.
Yep.
But if you're ever going to get, people who were upset Paulo didn't make the All-Star game, it's because these games are happening, right? These hurt the average.
Yeah.
These hurt the eyeball test. Whereas, you've seen a star like Jokic have an off night and still put up big numbers. Paulo was having off nights and still finding a way to get 20, but lately not. So it's not that he's not still star quality. It's just that it doesn't seem like we're trying to push the ball through him.
Yeah.
We're pushing the ball through whoever's working that day and whatever's working best for us and what we do. So that's a total team win, and that's obviously going to hurt some guys, all-stars or their stats and stuff like that. So if you've got guys like that on your team that are worried about it, it ain't going to work. But that doesn't seem to be our squad.
Yeah, Paulo with a low point total, but he did have a double-double. That was sneaky. I didn't see 11 points, 10 boards. Franz is that sneaky star that, like you said, he's going to just allow things to come to him. And that's both what I love about Franz, but also where I'm just like, no, I want the ball in Franz's hands more often. Markelle Fultz, his box score is interesting. 3 of 13. I mean, that's ugly, but he really impacted the game in a positive way. I mean, -8. He only had 8 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, though. 3 steals.
See, I have 7 rebounds and 4 steals. I don't know what you're looking at over there.
Oh, okay.
But either way, you're right. His stats aren't indicative of how much he affects the game.
Yeah.
So if somebody didn't watch the game, they look at the highlights, they probably don't think Markelle Fultz is
Yeah.
doing much.
Yeah.
But this game's way different without him and his hustle there and going in rebounding,
he almost
deflecting
put
shots,
that back,
steals. He's doing incredible things for this team that really don't show up in the score sheet, so it's not a big problem.
I like your point about, he might have had, I thought he had 3 turnovers when I looked at it earlier. This is saying 2 now. What do you got over there?
I got 2.
Yeah, even with the turnovers and some of the plays where just you're like, maybe too forced, maybe not the right call. He has those second chance opportunities, those hustle plays, those dog plays, where he gets in, he fights for a rebound or he gets a deflection, and
he's a plus player at the end of the day.
Right. Even though it says -8, you still feel like he's a plus player.
I mean, possession-wise, he's plus.
Yeah.
Because the 2 turnovers is obviously -2, but then how many, second-chance rebounds did he get? How many steals did he get? He takes the possession back. He's a positive possession guy, and that's that's one of your deep stats that they may keep somewhere.
Yeah.
But like that's the stat that's showing up that matters. And honestly, that's the eye test. If you're watching these games, you can tell how much effect Markel's having on it. So,
and maybe the last place. Well, no, I want to go 2 more places. I first want to talk about, as Mr. TV mentioned, the McDonald's uniforms of the Denver Nuggets. Now, I know they
McDonald's All-American.
They have a lot of the devil's lettuce out there in Colorado, which, I'm a huge proponent for, so good on you. But someone must have been on some of that devil's lettuce when they're like, let's make it look like a McDonald's logo.
The McDonald's All-American.
Yeah. No, I know the All-Star game, but even just like the arch and the logo, it just kind of also looks like, gives me McDonald's vibes.
Yeah. It's not a great look. They have good ones.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't one.
No, that's not it.
Any of their rainbow ones are good. Even the new city version they have with the rainbow in it.
The Tetris one is even better.
Yeah, it's solid.
Like, why are you going to bring that weak shit? Denver, you're coming to Orlando. Bring a better jersey.
Yeah, if you're going to disrespect us by wearing that garbage into our hole, you will leave with a loss every day.
Into our hole?
Yeah, home, the whole thing. You're coming in. That's where the game is played. It's in ours.
Last thing I wanted to talk about, Jalen Suggs got moved into the starting lineup after Gary Harris out with sore adductor or abductor. I'm not sure. It's one of, it's in there. It's in the hip area. Played really well to start, kind of cooled off, but he brings it on the defensive side. He ends 5 of 11 points. Got 0 steals here on. I definitely recall him getting at least 1.
Bummer.
You have 1 on there over there?
I got 0.
Oh, I felt like he had at least 1 clean one, a bunch of deflections. You like what he brings. He definitely was. He hit his first 3, got into the lane. He scored our first 5 points. He was a breath of life when we needed it, when we were down. He started that comeback. So I think Jalen Suggs, it was a good performance from him tonight. Definitely leaves any of the Jalen Suggs haters out there still scratching their heads.
Those guys have been getting quieter and getting quieter to the point where there's not going to be many of them left.
As they should be. So, just a great big win for everybody. No one standing out crazy, but the love was spread around, and it was enough to get the victory. We're heading in now to a 3-game stretch before the break. These are all teams in the Eastern Conference that are ahead of us, that if we want to make that play and push, these are really important wins. The Heat, the Bulls, and then the Raptors. Bulls and Raptors even more so because those are the teams we got to hop over to get into the play-in. The Heat are a little ways away, but they're in the conference, and Pich has money on us winning the Southeast. So we're all for the floor falling out in Miami.
Please fall out, floor.
And we hope to see you in person February 23rd. Pich and I are going to be down in Orlando. Court Cousins night. Fivo.me/Court Cousins. There should be some more tickets being released in the lower bowl. If not, reach out to Jess Lott. But we bought a bunch of jerseys. We're bringing down a bunch of jerseys and giveaways to give out to people. The Magic have said they're going to get something probably signed for us. We're going on the court after to cut down the nets. We'd love to hang out with you before and after the game. Just kick it. You'll get on the show. It'll be a good time. So we hope to see you there.
And what more can you say? That's
it.
What more do you need?
Nothing more, Pich.
Honestly, for me, just the opportunity to sit in the bowl at a lower price is worth it, even if you didn't give a shit about us.
Yeah, you don't have to give a shit about us. We're cool with that.
But chances are, if you watch the show, you at least are like, hey, you may like to say wave at us, at least in person, or we can watch the game live at the same time, like in the same building. That'd be cool, right?
And shout out to everyone who came through on the live stream.
It was a good stream tonight.
We had our first ever super chat. Nick Rambo, Shannon, Mr. TV. Shout out to them. They're now on the Mount Rushmore. Shout out to everyone who came through on the live stream. We'll hope to see you live for some Bol Bol action on February 23rd. Keep it real, everybody. Peace.
Thanks for coming.